It's a huge place. We've been going past it for about the last mile or so. Just a short way to go to the place we stay in Worms. I'm just transfixed by the castle cum cathedral, so cum basilica, that's hidden over this roundabout behind those trees, but we're turning right. This is Worms. Whether they pronounce it Worms, I don't know. Here we are. Yeah, yes, this is the Hotel Booze. We are stopping here. Someone on this trip has got a sense of humour. Now, which one is it? Just left the centre of the town of Worms on our way to Bacharach today, about 60 miles. You can see the clouds in the sky, not noticeably cooler this morning. Whether that continues, we're anticipating later in the day that the temperature's moving back up to the high 20s, 7, 8, 9, which is what we've had for the last 4 or 5 days. But for the moment we're enjoying the fact that it's so much cooler and a nice breeze. Because there is mistletoe in the trees.
Mistletoe?
Yeah. It's a good view, so there's a lot of weeds around, but it really is a nice day. There's even a train in the distance, moving quite nicely. Right, we're steady. We're going steady because this is a stork right in front of me. Got it on camera. It's a stork. Hopefully it won't fly away. There's a stork. We're going right past it. Going right past it there. Still there. We've had cowbell days and ferry crossing days. Looks like today's going to be vineyard day. I'm just going to pause while they veer off into the sunshine. Just a range of vineyards all over the hillside there, and then we're once again on a bumpy track. Again, the heat of the day hasn't quite got up yet. We're bowling along in much cooler weather than we've had in the last few days. I think I've said that already. Very nice, very picturesque, fragrant, nice place to be, including the ubiquitous chemical works. Carry on through the vineyard. See this lady? Yes, a lot of people have the trailers on that you will have seen on that lady's bicycle. Plenty of them all around. Just over the top, as we get to the slight rise in this path, we can see the river again to the right hand side, and the road and the railway, indeed, all running in parallel. You see the big wagon down there and the river behind, and it's suddenly got a little hilly bit as we get on the vineyard trail. We're at the seafront in Mains. This looks like some sort of a pleasure cruise thing. Obviously moored up, obviously room for passengers and food and things. So I think we're good view of the Rhine either side, and the traffic went along high bridge, as you can see. So we came from over there looking to my right, and then it's like we're leaving Mainz, and We're in B-brick. You can just see that possibly on the screen, top of the screen. And we think this palatial looking place gets a mention in the tourist guidebook. It does look neat. It looks like a wedding cake, this, for film shows, with all the creamy white walls and the pink brickwork and the set of characters on the top of the crown and the thing there. All adjacent to the wonderful Rhine. You might just see the stalk there through the fence. We're on a very bumpy track. About 25 miles left to go to Bacharach now.
Yeah, head is.
We've stopped in a rose garden. Dave's giving some train booking advice to a lady who's about to do a holiday in England. We've got some sort of battlements up here and ancient places to be. And here are the roses. A very nice part near the Rhine. Across is the abutment of the bridge there, and here is a bridge across the river that apparently was destroyed by the retreating Nazis, so sometime 1944-45. Might get a... We're quite taken by the bridge. We've got the road on the left, the train in the middle, ourselves on this right hand side. Still looking at the same just have a pause. We're taken by the attractive scenery around us. We've come around the river. We've come this way on the right hand side of the river as you look towards that tree line. We're about 2 kilometres out of Bacharach, where we're staying the night. Late afternoon. We've had the heat of the afternoon again after a very pleasant cooler morning, and a few swans ducking away there. And it's come along a narrow section of track, a lot of traffic in terms of bikes and people walking, dogs, etc. It's a very nice area. Looking forward to putting our feet up shortly. A lovely church over the water there. It looks as though from this angle all of the town is on the other side of the water. We'll soon find out, but this is Bacharach. I suspect that the next few days filming might include many a castle, but we've got another one, the remnants of one on the top of the hill there. We're now just about in the town of Bacharach. There goes the sign. In fact, on the signs to the town there are castles shown. In fact, look at the walls on the left hand side there. There's a good view of those, overgrown with ivy a bit, but just follow the path into the town. It's very apparent all the way along the river just how important it is in holiday terms. We've seen many campsites and places where people will just enjoy the water, swimming, inflatables, small boats. Hardly the seaside, it's not the sea, it's a river of course, but different places where people can lie in the sun just as if they were on the beach and just enjoy being at the water's edge, particularly on scorching hot days like this one. I think by and just a quick look back at a very nice hotel full of character with the tall spire there, which was our bedroom, funnily enough. And off we go. Start of the day in Bacharach up to Remagen. Got the hills either side, the river to our right. Standing at a monument to looks like something from the Prussian era, given the date on it, November 1853, and it mentions the word Field Marshal 1, 2, 3, fifth line down on the left. And then we're going to see plenty of castles today, but just something very nice about it. The size of the boat there, in contrast to the size of the river, shows you just how large the Rhine is, and you can see the speed of the water as it moves inexorably northwards towards. We've stopped next to this huge tower in front of us. We've already passed an older castle. The worry is that today's filming will comprise 3 hours of castles and vineyards that you can see along the left. The main reason why we've stopped, in the guidebook there is a mythical tale about a mermaid who lures sailors to their deaths around this turn. This rock that sticks out into the Rhine here, creating this turn. You can see the sandbank just there in the centre. You can see the boat to the left. Apparently they have to use pilots to get the boats. Use pilots to get round this part of the river because of the sandbanks, as Tom was just telling us. And you can see the green marker there, pleasure cruiser. The lad's taking photographs. 3 chimneys up there, that might be something industrial. We've got pubs and hotels along the side here, and lovely castle town in the foreground, and a boat you might see just. This we're coming into is called Koblenz. There's a guy on a mountain bike just come walloping down those steps, doing wheelies and all sorts of things. Plenty of people walking about, children, dogs. Nice sort of castle thing. Once again up on the top of the hill there, and we've got the boats and the wide river and the pleasure cruisers, and we're looking for somewhere to have a lunch. Koblenz looks very nice, very large, and some sort of municipal. Sorry, so yeah. Might well have 1 people over. Large municipal building, and the tourist train there. Looks quite a place, and as we come round the corner, there's all the umbrellas signifying places to eat. Very neat, very clean and tidy. Don't know if you can see, I've got to be careful dribbling through here amongst the people, but you can see the cable car system going up to the castle up there. I'm right underneath it, underneath the stanchions. Just sort of Saturday morning car boot sale come market, you can see the cable cars there. I'm going to switch this off because it's getting just a little bit crowded. Look round, and there's quite a statue up there looking at. Could do with a clean, but creates a terrific atmosphere. Then we've got the river down there as well. We seem to be heading over here. We've passed through the market. We've got the hills on the other side. Something we've seen a great deal of down the Rhine, the campsites. See that over to the left. And And we're just having 5, I think, in the sunshine. Still looking for lunch. Switching back on again. See the gondolas
statue
in
is
the
at
river.
the confluence, isn't it?
Yeah.
This statue is at the confluence.
Yeah.
That's the Rhine, this is the Moselle.
Correct. Yeah.
I was going to explain it myself, but Tom's just done it for me. That as we see the Rhine go down there, at the point,
This is the Rhine.
and that's the Rhine coming back from that way, and we go back past the statue and look at the Moselle River. So we're at the confluences. Early afternoon, it's getting warmer. We've left Koblenz and the Rhine Gorge, which were spectacular. We've lost the what have we lost? The high hills either side, and the vineyards, some agriculture I think on the hills up above us. But we're taken by the majesty of this span bridge, so we stopped just back there at a old Boxer Girders bridge. So we've had the Tom Knight lecture today about civil engineering and all its many fascinations. And here's a lovely bridge that we've seen. We're calling it the Tuning Fork Bridge for no better reason than from 5 miles away it does look like a tuning fork. But there we are. Onwards towards Remagen. Perhaps another 15 miles or so to do yet. Been a nice steady day. And the Rhine flows magnificently on. Plenty of people that we see on bikes every day, zooming down. All of them using just ordinary clothes, all ages, just strolling along on the bike. It's a very nice part of the world, this. Very nice. Remagen, where we'll get a boat across the water to a place I think that's called Linz. But just once again, the differences of the Rhine. These two guys were guys we saw earlier. See the two people on the paddle boards down there? I've seen that a couple of times. Slightly off the Rhine there, we're heading for a ferry crossing. There's a number across there. Might get to see them, but I've seen water skiers out as well. So this is a little wooden bridge we're crossing. And following the green signs. Here comes Mahmoud flying up the ramp. So we've reached almost Remagen. And we're waiting to cross this ferry over, I believe that's called Linz, L-I-N-Z, across the water, which is where we're staying rather than... Excusing the traffic noise, we're looking out over the Rhine. We're in Linz. Across the water is Remagen, and we're going to go over the ferry. We're going to go to the right. I don't know why the heck I'm pointing, but there we are. All the way up Bonn and Cologne and Dusseldorf. It's rained overnight. You can see the road drying out. We're hoping for a reasonably dry day, and then rain later on. The three of us are devastated that Mahmoud should choose Hotel Weinstock. Imagine that. I've switched on because on the right, beyond that boat with the blue at the front there, you can see two turrets. These are the remains of a bridge from World War II. It was one, there's quite a considerable story to it. The Nazis attempted to blow it up but didn't succeed. They were on the retreat in early 1945 in the Second World War. When the Allied troops made it across the bridge and the Germans had retreated back towards Berlin, the bridge later on collapsed, which is why the ruins are all that remains. So there's not much, doesn't seem to be. We're just down at that was a piece of sculpture. We've actually got the bridge abutments this end. It looks like it's turned it into a museum as well. Guys taking photographs. The Friedensmuseum, Broek van Remagen, and then that's a bit of a bridge there, and then the other one at the other side that we just looked at before. Some actual World War II history for you right there together. But the real reason why we've stopped here is, excuse my pronunciation, the Rhine Hotel Dressen. As the guidebook tells us, this is the place where Adolf Hitler and Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain had a meeting circa 1939, probably actually in 1939, and this led to the Peace in Our Time note, and then obviously not too long after the Second World War started. Apparently this was one of Adolf Hitler's favourite hotels where he'd come and... There's a nice bridge coming up, but we're very close to Bonn. It's more to the left, but there's seems to be a city whose history is long in the past. Now it's no longer considered a capital city. There doesn't seem to be a lot to see in terms of significant buildings, so it doesn't look like we're going to delay much around Bonn. The word on the screen is Marienburg, which is probably a small suburb. Just come through a very nice area, all grass, people out and about on a Sunday. And this is Cologne, the bridge, and the two almost identical spires up there, twin spires even. We believe that will be Cologne Cathedral. We should be getting near there soon and having a bite to eat. Very windy but pleasant. The rain of the early morning has disappeared and it's been in the middle of Cologne now. Crowds around, police lights. Believe it or not, we've joined here a march for the gay pride movement. You can probably see the rainbow flags there. Who says the Rotherham Wheelers aren't socially and culturally aware of everything that's going on in the 21st century, cycling related or not? We wanted to visit the cathedral from the inside. There's just too many people and road blockages and police things going on because of the march, because of where the streets are around the cathedral. This is about as close as we can comfortably get to it without spending the whole day here. So we're just taking a breather from the cycling, taking a look around us. Tom Knight and his cathedral. There you are. He's got
disappointed we can't go inside the Cologne Cathedral. That had actually been the one must do that I wanted out of this trip, but never mind.
Yeah, life's full of disappointments, Tom.
It is,
never mind.
I can deal with this one.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to look for some lunch then and just pan around and take a look at the river and the bridge. See the people on the scooters. Young chap just gone past. They're very popular around here. People walking the... Early to mid-afternoon on the Sunday, the 7th of July. We feel that there's a change in the scenery now from the vineyards and hillsides that we'd seen, Bacharach and up to Remagen and Linz. Perhaps now we're moving further north towards Dusseldorf, and we've about another 25 miles up to Dusseldorf, so we're going to start to see the landscape change to become more industrial, perhaps less attractive to look at. For the moment we've got some nice farms and agriculture around us, so see you in Dusseldorf. Plenty of plants being grown on the right there, and all sorts of flowers there, all different sorts. We're on our way into Dusseldorf, moving along on a nice wide track. Pleasant's not the same holiday place we'd seen lower down out to the south, but still plenty of people about just enjoying their leisure time on the banks of the Rhine. Nice the way as any to get into Dusseldorf. We're coming across a wooden bridge, pedestrians, cyclists. Be a bit silly to turn around, but there's a beach area behind us that we saw. Little kids running around, so we've got to be careful. Right, thank you. I don't know what the big tower is, and we're going to go downhill now. So this is all part of the big city, and we've got the Rhine again, and something like the London Eye across there. We're going past obviously some kind of local government building, the flags. We're actually on a track that says no cyclists allowed, but nobody seems to be taking a blind bit of notice of that. So we're very near the hotel. For anyone else like me who's completely ignorant of these things, I wasn't sure sort of the scale of Dusseldorf, but it is huge. Significantly larger than Cologne. Hope the various statistics back up that opinion, but it looks good. A lot of ethnic and cultural diversity, we've seen that already. Thank goodness there isn't a gay pride march going on though, but it really impresses as a big place. We're coming up to a street market, you might be able to see here. Thank you. A big place with plenty going on, and it's sort of Sunday tea time, and there's lots happening here. Food, all sorts of things going on. It was quite a walk we had through the market with food places everywhere, and the guys are going into the we've got to try and fight our way through these tables into the Hotel Alt, which Tom's very pleased with, because he's been told to look for a beer called Alt, which is the speciality of the area, been recommended by his family members and by a local cyclist that we met along the way. Here we go. Looking back the way we came, it's Monday. We left Dusseldorf after not a particularly healthy night's sleep, thanks to Dusseldorf's 24/7 nightlife. Staying in a place over an Irish pub didn't help matters entirely. We've come through Duisburg today, and it hasn't been all that spectacular to look at, and we haven't seen a lot of the water. But we've come past many farms, cattle, etc. And now we're on our way to Xanten, and we're not far from there, about 12 miles. I haven't actually seen too many sheep along the way, but here are a few. Fresh and sheared. And we're battling a headwind on the way to Xanten. The landscape's changed quite a bit, so too the architecture. None of the older historical buildings, much more modern architecture, and a lot of industry. backdrop of chimneys and things. Actually none that I can show you right now. Not quite as attractive as the Rhineland further south. Piece to camera. Kites, we've got kites flying up here. I hope you can see them right above me. Kites flying. So, Xanten, here we come. Green fields everywhere. Certainly pleasant, and as you can see, a nice surface to ride on, but some of the surfaces we've had today have been a bit sort of uncared for and a bit bumpy. Probably see that with the lorry across the road. We've got a scene of probable distress here. There's a man in the car, uninjured, but doesn't seem particularly with it. We've had to, if you look at the left hand side of the road there, we've had to drag our bikes through the field sort of under the lorry. The couple there seem to be like us passers by, and the lorry's slowing across the road. The mystery is where is the lorry driver?
Well, yeah.
I'm afraid we've been thwarted. The reason for the wagon at the back was this road closure.
Stop.
We're not allowed to. We're not allowed to go that way, so we've got to go all the way back past that wagon, which you can see, probably see in the distance, and find another way into Xanten. Refused to allow this bit to be edited out of the film of the trip, reduced to cycling across something akin to a ploughed field because the road's blocked in the way we want to go. Tensions rise as we're not entirely sure what we're doing. It may well be that we reach some kind of ditch that we have to turn around and go all the way back again. But we'll get there. Lunchtime, not lunchtime, dinner time looms.
Defunct nuclear power station, which is the theme park now, heading towards Holland, about 40 k's away. On the ferry again, going over to that side, we're in Holland. City of Arnhem. And nice bridge there. Not much to see, unfortunately. Not as a good scene earlier in the days when we were in the Rhine and Switzerland.
Mill, and Tom Knight saw it first. This is the world's only drive-through windmill, which we just come down. We're in the unpronounceable Wick by Dursted or some such. Having spent the day, I'll get my finger out of the way that went. Spent the day coming down through Arnhem from Germany into Holland, and we're just at the end of quite a warm day. Wick by Dursted. It's the last of the long days as we make our way to Rotterdam, having stayed in Wijk by Dursted, which is about the best pronunciation effort I'm ever going to make at that name. The book said we passed by prosperous farms, and that's exactly what we've been doing. We've got pear trees galore. In the town we stayed in, that grew cherries as a speciality, large dark coloured cherries, but here we've got a lot of pear trees, and we may or may not be in Holland because we've hardly seen any windmills, and that's what we're looking for. Billy Goat's Gruff, good morning. Say something to the camera. No? There's nothing to eat. Surprisingly, the prosperity of the area shows that now we just have farms. And extremely nice to look to with the church in the background. And still we haven't seen a windmill today. Things very much the Dutch way today, and we're outside a cafe. We've parked our bikes here on the thing. There's all sorts of Dutch language around me. Next to the Rhine, somewhere on our way to Rotterdam. We've stopped for a coffee here, and we're anticipating getting on this ferry, but we're not quite sure. Just see the cars coming off there. This will be the ferry boat. If the barge will shift, we'll see the place on the other side where we'll continue. Coffee time on the Rhine. Well, it is Holland, so I've got to film the windmill we've seen today. Seen the windmill. In actual fact, it's in a place, children's play place, similar to the one that's somewhere in North Leverton, out Brentford way. Seems to be a place like that. As the guys disappear, we're just on a very nice bridge here. A lovely view of that windmill there. Ducks in the water, and that's just where we've come from. Back to the windmill. Okay, that's all you're getting. Just give you a better close-up of one of the windmills as the guys move on. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Are we missing anybody? Yeah. Alright then. And there we head. So, oh, there's one in the distance as well. That might make 10. Over and out. We've passed through the windmill area. There's tourists everywhere. And now we're on this jetty waiting for the water bus, which will take us across 2 rivers. Yeah. What were the names of the rivers? The Lek and the Nord?
Yes.
Lek and the Nord. And this is the sort of water bus thing that you can see on the side there. Bus, and we don't know
the general direction of where it's going to take us. Do you see that radio mast over there?
Yeah.
To the right of that, as we're looking at it, there's a concrete jetty.
Yeah.
And I believe that is, I think that's the River Nord there.
Yeah.
That's where I would think it is. And I think it's going to take us to the far side of the River Nord.
Aiming towards Rotterdam. A nice view of the river. It's not actually the Rhine, so perhaps this bit of film didn't ought to be in amongst a story about the Rhine. Got one of the pleasure cruisers coming along again. We're just pulling into another stop. Nice houses across the water. Mr. Speedboat coming past. Here he comes. Pulling into a stop here. Here in Rotterdam, we're off the boat now and we're crossing the word at the top of this sign. Centrum means the centre of the city. I believe this is a mosque.